You are a cynical idiot, as I've told you 100 times. You see, he mocks me because of this expression that I've discovered in non-defense.
Yes, words. Words.
Yes, words. Words. They give consolation to us, to every one of us, when we are confronted by a situation for which we have no explanation. When we are face to face with an evil that consumes us. The consolation of finding a word that tells us nothing, but gives us peace.
And dulls our sense of remorse too. Yes, that above all.
No, it's not true. It wasn't with the words alone that I quieted the remorse within me.
No. You did it with a little money as well. Yes, the $100 that he gave me as payment, ladies and gentlemen, at Madam Pace's shop. Madam Pace, one of those madams who pretends to sell robes and hats to attract us poor girls from decent families into her workrooms.
And she's bought the right to tyrannize over the whole lot of us with the $100 that he was going to pay her. But by good fortune, and let me emphasize this, he had no reason to pay her anything.
Oh, but it was a very near thing. A very near thing. Oh yes, it was. It was a very near thing. Was she? No. This is my revenge. I am trembling, simply trembling with desire to live that scene. Oh, I can see it all so clearly. That room there, the divan, the long mirror, and the screen. And now you ladies and gentlemen really ought to turn your backs, because I'm almost naked. But he does the blushing now. But let me tell you, he didn't blush then. He was very pale then. Very pale indeed.
But I haven't the vaguest idea what you guys are trying to say here.
I can well believe it when you get things hurled at you like that. And let me speak before you believe all the horrible slanders she's so viciously heaping upon me without letting me get a word of explanation.
But this isn't the place for your long-winded fairy stories, you know.
But I won't explain things to him.
You will explain everything so that it suits you, won't you?
But can't you see here is the cause of all the trouble in the use of words? Each one of us has a whole world of things inside him. And each one of us has his own particular world. You know, we think we understand each other, but believe me, we never really do. Look at this situation, for example. All the pity that I feel for this woman, she takes it as the most ferocious cruelty.
But you turned me out of the house.
There, you hear? I turned her out. She really believed that I was turning her out.
You know how to talk. I don't. But believe me, after he had married me, and goodness knows why, but I was a poor, humble woman.
It was just because of that. I loved you for your humility.
No.
I married you for your
No.
No. You see, she says no. It's terrifying. Believe me, it's terrifying. It's deafness, mental deafness of hers. Affection, yes, for her children, but deaf, mentally deaf, deaf to the point of desperation.
And now you make him tell us what good all his cleverness has ever done us.
Oh, if you could only foresee all the ill that can come as a result of good that we believe we are doing.
Excuse me, but are you going on to the rehearsal or not?
Yes, but right now, consider them.
Yes, well, you see, I had a poor man working under me. He was my secretary and devoted to me. He was a good man, a humble man, just like her. There wasn't the slightest suspicion of anything wrong there. They were incapable, both of them, not only of doing evil but even not thinking it.
And so, he thought about it for them and then got another day.
No! Things had come to such a pass that I could not say a single word to either of them without them immediately exchanging an understanding look.